Dear students, today we are going to discuss about the simple cash book or single column cash book or cash book with only the cash column. In the last class, we have discussed about types of cash book. So in the types of cash book, we have three types of cash book. Simple cash book as well as the next is two column cash book or double column cash book or bank column cash book. Last cash book is the petty cash book. So today we are going to discuss about the first cash book under the subsidiary books. First is cash book. Under the cash book we have three types of cash book: simple, double column, petty cash book. Under the first type of cash book is simple cash book or single column cash book or cash book with only one column. What is here simple cash book means or single column cash book means? The cash column which contains only one column. In receipt also it may be one amount column, as well as in credit side also, that is under the payment side also, it will be only one amount column it consists. So simple cash book or single column cash book is a type of cash book where we used to maintain only one amount column on the debit side as well as under the credit side. So here what happens in this cash book? So we used to take all the receipts, that is in the debit side we used to take all the receipts, as well as in the credit side we used to take all the payments. So remember that simple cash book is a type of cash book. Here we used to record only cash transactions in the single amount column in either the sides, that is under the debit side also one amount column, in the credit side also one amount column. Coming to the format of a cash book, under the debit side we used to record what? Date, particulars, receipt number, ledger folio, rupees. Here I said that debit side, see remember always in the cash book we have one concept: cash belongs to the category of an asset. So asset means, you may notice in the third chapter the rules and regulations under the modern accounting. So what cash belongs to? It is an asset. Asset means what happens there? Debit balances increases, always debit increases, credit decreases. So under the debit side, cash book is what happens here, is an asset. Under the debit side, whatever the transactions we are recording, whatever the items we are considering, it will be increasing. Under the credit side, what happens? Whatever the amount we are considering, it will be decreasing. So receipts means what happens? The amount will be increasing, the income what we are receiving, so that will be considered under the debit side. Credit side, what happens? The amount will be decreasing. So here what happens? The first column should be recorded the date. So date of the transaction, on which time the amount has been received. So here particulars, all the receipts will be taken according to the date wise. Receipt number is there. So receipt number means what the number they are given for that particular transaction, what has been happened, as well as ledger folio will be recorded the numbers. Rupee column, rupee means the amount, actual amount. So debit side it is of receipts, the income what we are receiving. In the credit side, what are the payments we are making? So here it may be the date column, the first same as it is date column. Here the payments, the particulars will be of fully payments what we are making according to the date wise will be recording. Here voucher number, that means what are the payments we have made. For example, salary made, that number will be given as per the voucher, so we can record it here. Ledger folio as well as rupees column. So remember that cash is an asset. So as per the asset rules, what happens here? Debit increases, credit decreases. So whenever increases, when we receive amount only, the cash balance will be increasing. When it decreases means it is a payment. Whenever we make the payments, automatically it decreases. Why we need to prepare this cash book means to find out the closing cash balance. Only cash transactions will be recorded. To find out the closing cash balance, we will be preparing this cash book. For the purpose of examination point of view, we can ignore these two columns, that is of receipt number as well as ledger folio. Here voucher number as well as the ledger folio. We can ignore these columns, that is this part is not required. We can directly take date, particulars, rupees, date, particulars, rupees, that is debit and credit. The debit side for the examination purpose I am saying that because receipt number will not be given, ledger folio will not be given, then directly you can consider date, particulars, rupees. Again in the credit side, date, particulars, rupees, that is enough for the examination purpose. The next concept we can see the what are the transactions will be coming for the simple cash book. Now, what are the items can be considered in the simple cash book we need to see. So, first of all we have written that debit side as well as the credit side. See, I said for the examination purpose we can ignore the receipt number, ledger folio as well as what? Voucher number as well as the ledger folio in the credit. So, coming to the debit side, that is I said simple cash book. Cash represent an asset. Asset means what happens there? Debit increases, credit decreases. So automatically here what happens under the debit side, whatever the amounts we are considering, it will be increasing. In the credit side what happens? Whenever we make the payments, automatically it will be decreasing. So date, particulars. Particulars means majorly here all the receipts will be coming. Again rupee column, the amount column. Again the next credit side also date, particulars, rupees, that is of credit side. Here it is of payments. So debit side consists of receipts. Receipts means the amount whatever we are receiving in the business. Again under the credit side it consists of payments, whatever the payments made by the business concern. Coming to the first of the debit side, see here what and all the receipts we can receive. I will explain one by one. To balance brought down. This is the opening debit balance. Cash balance on the beginning of every month, whatever is there, that should be recorded under the debit side. Whatever the cash balance in the beginning will be there, no? That amount, opening balance of cash in hand should be recorded under the debit side because the balance what we have in the beginning of the month. To capital account. What is this capital means? Money or money's worth introduced by an proprietor or an entrepreneur. When an entrepreneur is giving an amount, so that should be recorded under the debit side. Why we should record it under the debit side? Because the cash balance is increasing. Whenever you can see the journal entry also, a person introduced, for example, a person introduced an amount into the business means what will be writing? Cash account debit to capital account. See the transaction as it is, ledger account also it comes. Cash account debit to capital account. Here the balance increases. Why it increases? Because he brings the capital. The owner is bringing the capital into the business. When the owner is bringing the capital into the business, automatically what increases there? The cash balance increases. It is an receipt. So here as per the rule what happens? Debit increases, credit decreases. So here whenever the owner is bringing the cash, automatically what increases here? The cash balance increases. Next is here to sales account. Whenever we make the sales, automatically what happens there? The cash balance increases. It is what sales made. Remember here sales means we have credit sales as well as the cash sales. So in the cash book we can record only what type of sales? Cash sales. So whenever we are making the cash sales, automatically what will be increasing here? The cash balance will be increasing. How it increases? Our stock is moving out. When he pays the amount, our cash balance automatically what happens? Increases. Again, the next point, to debtors account. Who is a debtor here? Who is a debtor here? Debtor means what happens? The person owes money to the business. Why he need to owe the money to the business? Because he has received the benefit from the business. For example, we have given a goods for him, he need to pay the amount. Whenever he pays the amount at the later date, it increases our what balance? Cash balance will be increasing. So one thing you remember in the mind, whenever cash increases, it should be recorded under the debit side, under the receipt side. Why means the cash balance increases means it represents as what? A receipt. So asset means the cash is an asset, debit increases. So automatically to debtors account, what happens here? The cash balances increases. Next is here to asset account. When we can get and receive from an asset, that should be considered. When we can get, whenever we sell the asset, automatically our balance will be increasing. How the balance will be increasing whenever we sell the asset? For example, a machinery worth rupees 50,000 is sold out. 50,000 is sold out means automatically our cash balance of rupees 50,000 will be increasing. So that will be considered as what? To asset account. Why? What is the reason means? Because debit increases in the cash, because cash is an asset account. Next here, to bank account. See here, to bank account. What happens in the bank for the purpose here? We are recording the bank account means what is the reason of cash increases here? How is the bank account transaction increases the cash means automatically in the bank account if we are withdrawn for the office use. For example, I don't have money in the office. 5,000 rupees for the business purpose I am withdrawing from the bank. Bank balance decreases. Leave that bank balance there. Why means we are preparing the cash account. Automatically what balance will be increasing here? The cash balance will be increasing. So what happens here? To bank account. The amount withdrawn from the bank balance decreases. Leave that. Only the cash balance increases. That should be recorded under which book? Simple cash book, under the receipt side. So next point, to any other incomes. For example, commission received. Commission received means what happens? The cash balance increases. Interest received means what happens? The cash balance increases. Whenever the cash balance increases, it should be recorded under the debit side. So debit side represent all the receipt items. So whenever the cash increases, you should record it under the debit side. So remember that cash is an asset. So asset means what happens? Asset rule says that debit increases in an asset, credit decreases in an asset. So increases whenever we are receiving the cash in the book. So automatically we need to record it under the debit side of the cash book. So coming to the credit side of the cash book, that is of credit side means what we are making here? The payments. So the payments will be made. So one or the other payments if we are making means what happens automatically? Our cash balance decreases. So on the receipt side, our cash balance increases. In the credit side, our cash balance decreases because we are making the payments. See here, by drawings account. What is the drawing? An amount is withdrawn by the proprietor or the entrepreneur of the business. Whenever he take the amount from the business, he has taken out the amount means automatically what happens? The balance of the cash decreases. Why it decreases? Because he has taken the cash balance. Again we can see by purchase account. When we make the cash purchases, so automatically what happens? Our cash balance there, automatically it reduces. Whatever decreasing or reducing amount comes means that should be taken under which side? Credit side. Again by creditors account. Creditors account, we have received an amount from the business, that is amount or stock we can say. We need to pay back that amount. So whenever we are paying that amount to a creditor, a person, automatically what happens? The cash balance will be decreasing. By asset account, why this asset account will be considering here? I said in the debit side also, we have sold the asset there. But here what happens? When we purchase the asset, our cash balance what happens? Decreases. So again we have by bank account. Here also I said bank. Here also I am saying bank. Bank means here the amount withdrawn for what use I said? For the purpose of the office use, the cash balance increases. But here we are paying the amount to the bank. Whenever we are paying the amount or deposited the amount into the bank means automatically the cash balance will be decreasing. By expenses account. By expenses means which are the expenses required for the business purpose. We can say there are lot of expenses for the business, for the smooth running of the business. So it may be some petty expenses or it may be some major expenses like salaries to the employees or rent of the building or any other postage or many expenses. So all the expenses will be recorded under which side? We can say under the credit side of the cash book. The ultimate aim of the cash book is to find out the closing balance on the closing date. So we need to find out the difference amount of the debit side as well as the credit side. So debit side always sometimes the debit side total will be more. When the debit side total is more means somewhat the difference will be the cash in hand. It is a positive cash in hand only we can say. So here whatever the balance carried down is there, no, the difference amount we need to total all the debit side cash amount. Again in the credit side we will be totaling it. Remaining amount will be considered as an balance carried down, that is the difference amount we used to get. So remember once again here in the simple cash book or single column cash book we used to maintain only one amount column will be recorded to maintain the receipts as well as for the payments. So in the cash book here we used to record what? All the debit items will be considering of receipts, all the credit item will be considering of payments. So debit side means what happens here? We are receiving the amount. Why we are receiving the amount? As per the cash it is an asset. Cash means what happens? It is an asset. Debit increases, credit decreases. So debit side whatever we are recording it increases the cash balance. Under the credit side whatever we are recording it will be decreasing the cash because it is of payments. Debit side receipts, credit side it is of payments. Debit side the cash balance increases, credit side the cash balance decreases. At the conclusion of this format we can say that simple cash book is a type of cash book where we can record the only cash transactions by taking debit side as an receipt as well as credit side as an payment with only one column. In simple words we can say that simple cash book or single column cash book or cash book with only one column we can record the cash transactions in the single amount columns on either sides, that is under the debit side as well as under the credit side we can consider. So in this simple cash book remember and cash is an asset. So debit side will be recording all the receipts because it increases. In the credit side will be recording all the payments because it decreases. So again one important concept, simple cash book is to record only cash transactions as well as one more point is there, we can find out the closing balance by preparing this simple cash book. Hi students, in the classwork book you need to go for the page number 4.3, the first problem under the simple cash book. So in the 4.3 first problem, take down a pencil and mark down the points whatever we used to discuss in the first problem. See here, enter the following transactions in a single column cash book for the month of March 2017. In the month of March 2017, they are given few transactions. It should be recorded in the cash book. Which are the transactions we can see here? So 2017 on December 1st, cash in hand we have 24,000. So this cash in hand represents the opening cash balance of an business concern. So on December 1st, how much is the opening cash balance we have? 24,000. So on December 4th, they are given cash received from Vishnu. So we are receiving the cash from Vishnu means whether it increases the cash balance or it decreases the cash balance. It increases the cash balance. So it is an receipt. Just take down it is an receipt of amount is how much is given? 6,000. It should be recorded under the debit side. Again on December 8th they are given purchased goods from Vishnu for cash. We are purchasing goods from Vishnu. Yes, of course. But for what? For the cash. So automatically what happens? It decreases our cash balance. So it will be treated as a payment. How much is the payment we made there? 4,000. Again the next date, December 10th, paid insurance. when we are paying insurance, our cash balance decreases. How much is the cash balance decreases there? 2000. Again, it should be recorded under which side? Credit side, that is under the payment side. Again, on December 15th, sold goods for cash. See here, whenever we sold, that is we sell the goods, means automatically what balance increases there? Cash balance increases. So it should be recorded under the debit side, that is under the receipt side, because it increases what balance? Our cash balance. Again, on December 18th, paid rent. When we pay the rent, what happens automatically there? Immediately the cash balance decreases. So it should be recorded under the credit side. December 22nd, purchased stationery items. When we purchase the stationery items, what happens immediately there? The cash balance decreases. Again, they are given on December 25th, received commission. Received commission means here what happens? Our cash balance increases, so it should be recorded under which side? Debit side. Again, December 27th, paid salaries is given. When we pay the salaries, automatically what happens? Our cash balance decreases, so it should be recorded under the credit side. Again, on December 31st, paid to postage. How much is given there? 400. So it decreases our what balance there? Cash balance. So automatically it decreases our cash, so it should be recorded under the credit side. Once again, see the question in the 4.3 page book, that is in the classwork book, it should be compulsorily written. The note should be maintained for the problems. If you are not concentrating on the problems, you will not understand the chapter. Understand here, the first question I will read once again. Enter the following transaction in a single column cash book for the month of March 2017. This is for 6 marks problem. Again, see here, on 2017 December 1st, that is cash in hand 24,000 is there, that is opening balance of cash 24,000. It should be recorded under the debit side. Again, December 4th, cash received from Vishnu is there 6,000. It is an receipt because we are receiving the cash, so it increases what balance? Our cash balance. It should be recorded under the debit side. Again, December 8th, purchased goods from Vishnu for cash is there 4,000. So when we are purchasing, automatically what happens? Our cash balance decreases, so it should be recorded under the credit side. December 10th, paid insurance rupees 2,000 is there. When we are paying the insurance, our cash balance decreases, so it should be recorded under the credit side. Again, on December 15th, sold goods for cash 8,000 is there. So for this transaction, what happens? It increases our cash balance, so it should be recorded under the receipt side, that is of which side? Debit side. Again, December 18th, paid rent is there. When we pay the rent, what happens? Our cash balance decreases, so it should be recorded under which side? Credit side. Again, December 22nd, purchase stationery items. How much is given? 4,500. So whenever we are purchasing stationery items, what happens? Our cash balance decreases, so it should be recorded under which side? Credit side. Again, on December 25th, received commission. How much is there? 1,000. So when we are receiving commission, our cash balance increases, so we should record it under which side? Debit side. Again, on December 27th, paid salaries. How much is there? 2,000. When we are paying salary, what happens? The cash balance decreases, so it should be recorded under which side? Credit side. Again, on December 31st, paid to postage. How much is there? 400. So automatically what happens here? The cash balance decreases, so it should be recorded under the credit side. Now we can solve the problem. Simple cash book. I already explained this concept. Simple cash book means what happens? We used to record only the cash transaction. In the simple cash book, we used to record only the cash transactions in a single amount column. So under the debit side, one amount column, under the credit side, one amount column. Remember here, cash means it is an asset. So as per the asset rules, what happens? Debit increases, credit decreases. So debit increases means automatically what happens? Whenever the cash increases, it should be recorded under the debit side. That means this is an receipt side. Whenever cash balance decreases means that should be recorded under the credit side. It is an payment side. So debit side stands for the receipt, credit side it stands for the payment. Debit means cash balance increases is an receipt. credit side, it is what happens here, the cash balance decreases, it is an payment we are making or we are paying to any other persons, we can say. So simple cash book is a type of cash book we used to record in only single column, that is it is also called a single column cash book, where means single amount column will be maintained. So debit side means receipts will be recorded, that means it increases the cash balance. Credit side we used to record all the payments. So as per the 4.3 page number first problem, what is the first point we can say means on December 1st cash in hand 24,000 is there. On December 1st cash in hand 24,000 is there. That is an opening balance in the month of March 2017. That is in the December 2017 opening balance. How much is there? We have the amount of 24,000. So in the question, that is under the first question in the page number 4.3, in the heading they are given March 2017, just it is a printing error, so you can change it as December 2017 for our purpose, that is of December 2017. What is the question that says? Enter the following transaction in a single column cash book for the month of December 2017. A small change there, December 2017. So for the December month we are recording the transaction. So opening balance, on which date we have the opening balance? On 1st of December 2017. How much is the opening balance we have? 24,000. So that 24,000 is a opening balance that should be recorded under which side? Under the debit side. What is the date? On 1st of December, that is 1/12/2017. What is the opening balance? We can say a to balance brought down. This is of opening balance to balance brought down. How much is the amount we used to record here? 24,000. So opening balance of cash should be recorded under the debit side, that is of the debit balance. It is the balance on the beginning of month we have. How much is the balance in the beginning of month we have? 24,000. See the next date they are given December 4th, that is of cash received from Vishnu rupees 6,000 is given. So when we are receiving cash from a person, what happens? It increases our cash balance. So it is an receipt. So debit increases in an asset. It is an, that is in the cash. It is an, what happens here? Receipt. So it should be recorded under which side? Debit side. See the date on December 4th we are receiving the cash from Vishnu. So it increases what balance? Cash balance. So it should be recorded under which side? Debit side. So on which date they are given? 4. On 4th December 2017 to Vishnu's account. To Vishnu's account we are receiving cash. How much cash we are receiving there? 6,000. It increases the cash balance, so we have recorded under the debit side. Moving to the next day, on December 8, purchased goods from Vishnu for cash rupees 4,000. Purchased goods from Vishnu. How much they have purchased goods from Vishnu? That is for cash. How much they have purchased? 4,000. So on which date they are purchasing? On 8. So whenever we are purchasing goods, what happens automatically there? The cash balance decreases or increases? It automatically decreases. Whenever it decreases, it should be recorded under which side? Under the credit side. That is the payment made. On which date they are making the payment? We can say on of 8th December 2017. What is the first thing there? That is they are making the payment by purchasing the goods from Vishnu for cash. Only cash transaction should be recorded. So automatically what happens here? By purchases account. How much is the amount we need to write there? 4,000. So it is the first payment made. Next date they are given on December 10th paid insurance rupees 2,000. On December 10th they are paying the insurance amount of rupees how much? 2,000. When they are paying the insurance means what happens? Our cash balance decreases. When our cash balance decreases, where it should be recorded? It should be recorded on the credit side because it is the payment. On what is the date they are given? On 10th of December 2017. What we are paying there? We are paying the insurance. So automatically what happens here? By insurance account, how much is the payment we made for insurance? That is of 2000. Students, remember here, whenever cash balance increases, record it under the debit side. When it decreases, record it under the credit side. As per the date, you should record it. So Y means it is the rule. As per the rule, it says cash is an asset. So debit increases in an asset, credit decreases in an asset. Coming to the next date, what they given? On December 15th, sold goods for cash rupees 8,000. Sold goods for cash rupees 8,000. We are selling the goods for rupees, how much they are given? 8,000. When we sell the goods, what happens? We used to receive the cash. When we receive the cash, our cash balance increases. So sales is an receipt. Why it is an receipt? When we sell the goods, we used to receive the cash. It increases what balance there? Cash balance. So it should be recorded under which side? Debit side. What is the date given there? It is of December 15th. So 15th of December 2017. What we are making there? We are making the sales. To sales account. How much is the amount we used to get there? 8,000. It is of 8,000. So coming to the next point, what is the next date? Of December 18th, they are given paid rent rupees 500. So when we are paying the rent, what happens? Our cash balance, it decreases. When it decreases, it should be recorded under which side? Credit side. So on which date they are given? On December 18th. On 18th of December 2017. What happens here? We are paying the rent. When we pay the rent, what happens? The cash balance decreases. By rent, how much is the amount we used to get there? That is, we used to pay there 500. How much is the amount we have paid there? 500. So again, the next date they are given December 22nd. Purchase stationery items rupees 4,500. Purchase stationery items. How much we are purchased stationery items? Stationery items means it can be pen, pencils or any book materials, that is ledger books and all we used to purchase for the business to record the transactions or many things. Stationery items includes the office instruments also sometimes. So what are the things? How much we have purchased? 4,500. When we are purchasing stationery item on December 22nd, what happens? Our cash balance increases or decreases? Decreases. So it should be recorded under debit side or credit side? Credit side. So on which date we need to record it under? 22nd of December 2017. We are purchasing what items? Stationery items. So buy stationery items. Buy stationery items. For how much we are purchasing the stationery items? It is of 4,500. 4,500. So it decreases what balance? Our cash balance. So we are recording under which side? Credit side. Moving to the next date, they are given of December 25th, received commission 1,000. So when we receive the commission, the business concern is receiving the commission, means it increases what balance? Our cash balance. But when it increases the cash balance, it should be recorded under which side? Debit side. So it is on receipt side. So on which date they are given? On 25th of December 2017. We are receiving the commission. So automatically what happens here? To commission account. How much is the amount we are receiving there? 1,000 rupees we are receiving. So it increases our cash balance. So coming to the next date, what they given? On December 27th, paid salaries. We are paying the salaries. When we pay the salaries, what happens? Our cash balance decreases. So it is a payment. It should be recorded under credit side. When we make the payment, automatically what happens? Our cash balance decreases. On which date we have made there? 27th of December 2017. So by salaries account. By salaries account, how much is the amount we have made there? 2,000. 2,000 is the salary paid. When we pay the salaries, automatically what balance decreases? Our cash balance decreases. Next point, on December 31st, paid to postage. How much is given? 400. That is paid to postage means what happens? It is also an payment. So it decreases. So automatically on which date? On December 31st of December 2017 you will be getting by what we need to record here, by postage account. The amount they are given, how much is they are given? 400. So my dear students, listen here. Under the debit side we have recorded the transaction which increases the cash balance. Under the credit side we have recorded the transaction which decreases the cash balance. So debit side increases the cash balance, credit side decreases the cash balance. Now what you need to do means make a total on both the sides. Make total on both the sides, that is under debit side as well as under the credit side, and take the total whichever is more. Make the total under debit side as well as under the credit side. Make the total which side is more. I think debit side is the more total. So in the debit side you will be getting 39,000. How much is the debit side total? 39,000. The same total you make it under the credit side also. How much is the total here? You used to get 39,000. So debit side total is more. The debit side total should be copied to the credit side also. Now minus 39,000 minus the remaining things. What is the difference amount you will be getting? The difference amount you will be getting 25,600. So this is the difference amount you will be getting. How much is the difference amount you will be getting? 25,600. This difference amount on the last date, it is called as what? The difference amount is called as the closing balance of the month. So here we used to write it as what? By balance carry down. This is of what amount here? Difference amount. Difference amount. How we got the difference? Remember total here. Make the total on both the sides. Which total is more here? Debit side total is how much? That is receipts are greater than the payments. Then 39,000 you record it under credit side also. The same line it should be there. 39,000 credit side also 39,000. From the 39,000 minus the above transactions we will be getting how much there? 25,600 on the. This is the closing balance of cash in the month end. We have how much? 25,600. And again on which date it should be brought down? Again on 1/1/2018 it should be brought down as what here? To balance brought down. It is the next month opening balance. How much you will be having here? 25,600. You can understand now. First total both the sides, whichever total is more, no, that total you record it under both the sides. The remaining, that is credit side, is less here. So same total debit side we got 39,000 minus the above things you are getting the difference amount 25,600. This carried down balance will be brought down to the next month on 1/1/2018 to balance brought down 25,600. Remember students here, the major concept here is in the simple cash book we used to record only one amount column. So for the examination purpose we have avoided which are the columns here? Receipt number, ledger folio, as well as here voucher number as well as the ledger folio. It is not required in this because for the examination purpose no numbers are given, so we are avoiding that columns. So again I am saying here receipt side, that is under the debit side it is majorly for the receipts. Which increases the cash balance means record it under the debit side. Which decreases the cash balance means it should be recorded under the credit side. Only cash transaction should be recorded. Avoid all the credit transactions. It should be recorded. Simple cash book should be recorded with only the cash transactions. So debit side it increases. Whenever cash balance increases, record it under the debit side. Decreases means it should be recorded under the credit side. Automatically you will be getting the total, that is whichever total is more. For example, debit side total is more means same total you make it under the credit side also. Again the difference amount under the credit side will be called as what here? Balance carried down. Simple cash book. This cash book is also majorly used to find out what? closing cash balance of the business. So here we got the closing cash balance of the business 25,600. When on the first day we have opening balance how much? 24,000. Now we have the closing balance 25,600. Thank you, my dear students.